Howdy, folks. Right now, come into KFC and get a free chocolate cake with a 10-piece meal. It's free. It's free chocolate cake. How else can I say it? It's a whole chocolate cake that you don't pay any additional money for. See, that's the arrangement. I don't know how else to explain this. You buy a 10-piece bucket meal. I slide an actual chocolate cake made of real actual cake across the counter. You take it, and we both go our merry ways. So come on down to KFC. Get your free cake today. It's finger-licking good. Offer excludes 12-piece tenders meal, limited time only, participating locations.
The holidays are just around the corner, and Magnolia 2 Boutique in Hopkinsville has everything you need. Monogram gifts like cozy pullovers, Charles River raincoats, and a large selection of bedstew purses, jewelry, and accessories make perfect gifts for the ladies on your list. Come see us and check out our adorable UK sweatshirts, as well as men's t-shirts and a huge selection of ladies' clothing in sizes small to 3X. We can't wait to see you at 5120 Princeton Road or visit us online at Magnolia2, that's TOO.com.
You've been listening to your WPKY News Edge. Find news 24 hours a day at WPKYonline.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty. And guess who else is with us this morning at WPKY in
Princeton. Yes, indeed.
Who
is it?
It's the weatherman extraordinaire.
I thought it was Woodsy the Owl. I heard him say hoo-hoo.
Hoo-hoo.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Horton here's the who, the Whoville and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
This is our favorite weather guy, David Powell.
I am here.
I'll tell you, we just got through seeing lightning, and we heard a huge clap of thunder. What is going on with all of that?
Well, you're going to continue to hear that some over the next couple of hours, it looks like. I'm looking at the radar right now, and some pretty hefty showers getting ready to move across the Princeton area. It's extending back down towards Mayfield and in far western Kentucky as well. But, count your lucky stars, because off to the northwest in Missouri, radar is showing they are getting ice. And that is something none of us want to see. Just a little bit of that would cause terrible driving conditions. So let's hope it stays up there and doesn't move this way, although the colder temperatures will move this way later on this evening. In the meantime, you can expect a 100% chance of rain. And you have to watch out for those natural poorly drained areas, the ones that usually flood a little bit whenever you get some hefty rains, because the rains will be heavy at times. And, when all is said and done, I think some areas will pick up at least between 1 and 2 inches anyway. So last thing I saw from the National Weather Service was that they're expecting the amounts to come up a little bit. So, 2 inches would be a good top end of the amount of rainfall we can get. So we'll keep watching this, and as the cold front comes through this evening, I think probably by around 11 o'clock we'll start seeing temperatures drop pretty good, and before daylight in the morning, we will start seeing a changeover to some light snow. I don't think it will amount to anything. It just appears that there will be some snowflakes in the air, and it'll be something good to watch for everybody in the Christmas spirit. But you know what? It's not going to amount to much. And then on up to the day on Tuesday, probably about noonish, we'll see skies start to clear. And from that point forward, we will see some calm weather all the way up until next weekend. And at that time, we're going to be watching a little trough that develops and comes across the area. It should bring mainly cloudiness. Right now, it looks like the moisture will be lacking with that. But what that will do is maybe unlock the northern part of the United States, allow some cold air to come down into the area just in time for Christmas. And, some of the models are showing a pretty significant storm for Christmas Eve. And let's hope that calms down a little bit, because the models are correct. We may get more than we bargained for as far as wintry weather. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. It's just a little tease. As most of you know who've followed weather very much, you'll know that, models tend to exaggerate sometimes, but it's just something to keep an eye on.
Well, we know that at some point we're going to end up with some snow. I mean, it's winter weather. It's coming. Now, and a lot of us, we like a little bit of dusting for Christmas anyway, David. It's Christmas.
Oh, I agree, but I don't think, if the models are correct, I don't think that kind of dusting is what you expect. We could be looking at something that would, in fact, impact travel significantly. Again, like always, it all depends on the track and the timing of the storm, but it does seem to be an intense storm. So that's one thing that has me a little more concerned, because a lot of times that tends to carry its own little pool of cold air with it. So we'll watch it and see. Nothing to worry about. just be ready, enjoy the season for what it is, and we'll all live happily ever after.
Well, that way we're just kind of preparing for the Christmas holiday, because a lot of us, even if you only go an hour or so away, a lot of us do travel around for Christmas, don't we?
Yeah, well, yeah, we do. We do. And, I have noticed there's a lot of ugly people out there. They sure are not very much in the Christmas spirit, but there are a lot of really nice people out there as well. So, you got to take the good with the bad. Just try not to respond to those people who are not exactly in the Christmas spirit, and say Merry Christmas to them and move on.
Hey, David.
Yes, sir.
What is the official? There's an official point where there is a white Christmas. Is that an inch on the ground by 6 a.m. Christmas morning? Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
For it to be considered a white Christmas, it has to be an inch on the ground, and that would be on Christmas morning. A lot of people count a white Christmas as Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, either one. Me, it matters not. If I see snow on the Christmas time, I'm happy.
Yes, sir. There was just a couple years ago, and I can't remember what year it was, but there was sort of it may not have been a surprise to you. For some of us, though, was surprise snow on Christmas Eve. Quite a bit of really wet snow. This has been several years ago. Do you remember that? Probably 5 or 6 years ago?
I really do, and it did. It caught the National Weather Service and even me a little bit by surprise. But what happened is it's what's called a deformation zone that's set up really right over this little area here. And, boy, it dumped, I think some places got 5 inches of snow. Very beautiful. And like you said, it was kind of wet, so it didn't affect the roadways too bad. But it was just about one of those perfect Christmas Eve snows. And you say, oh, man, you only see those about once in a lifetime, at least in this area.
Yeah, it was great. I remember I was at a gathering out in the country near Cobb, and by the time we left to go to church, say at 10 o'clock, man, it was slow going back into Princeton. But it was beautiful, and it was fun. And, again, it wasn't too bad out on the roads because it was just cold, wet, and slushy. But
and the fact that it was snow, too, helped, because if it had been anything but snow, it would have been a little bit more treacherous. But, snow, you can get some traction in. And I don't know, I don't mind driving in snow too bad. You just got to take your time. Don't be in a big hurry like you normally would be, but or like I normally would be. But anyway, you do have to take your time and be sure and give plenty of space to you and the vehicle in front of you. Or, well, hopefully the one behind you is doing the same thing, but you can't control them. So anyway, you just do the best you can, and let's hope that everyone has a safe holiday. That's one thing worse than having an accident or something during the holiday, and that would sure ruin your Christmas spirit. But, life does happen.
Well, we sure appreciate you giving us a holler this morning and talking to us. And, we did hear, too, that, Bessie the cow, when she's standing out in the field, one of the things that we learned on Farmer's Almanac was, depending on which way her tail is swishing is how much snow we're supposed to get. Did you know that one?
No, I don't believe I heard that.
Well, see, that's why you missed that snowstorm 4 years ago. You weren't talking to Bessie.
Well, I usually watch my weather rock. If it's wet, it's raining. If it's not, it's dry. And well, if it's waving in the wind, then it's windy. That.
Ah, well, I think maybe that one's probably more accurate. I don't know.
Well, I've had a lot of people accuse me of using that to give forecasts, but a lot of people really stick for that.
Well, there's a lot of weather folklore out there, and it's just kind of neat, when you look at it. That's the way some of these guys used to do it back in the day. They didn't have any other way to forecast it.
Well, there's a difference between actually weather lore is what it is, and folklore is something that's not necessarily based on fact, whereas weather lore is based on historical facts, where people, before they had all these weather instruments and radar and things like that, they could tell what the weather was going to do before it got there. And I use a little bit of that, whenever I'm kind of putting together some ideas, especially in the summertime. I know if the clouds are spinning loudly, I know that a rainstorm will be coming pretty soon. There's a lot of things that you can do just by looking at the surroundings. A lot of people have forgotten that. And unfortunately, it's becoming a lost art.
Well, have a wonderful, safe day, mister.
Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to mainly try to stay dry and then Still got another broadcast I got to do on one of our sister stations, WHCO, and then, I don't know, I'm going to kind of enjoy this rainy day.
Well, thanks so much, David Powell, our weather guy, and try to stay warm, and we'll talk to you soon about maybe seeing what the runway looks like up Santa's way.
That sounds good to me.
All right, Ed, thanks so much. David Powell, of course, our resident weatherman, and you can catch him on Facebook and that sort of thing in lots of different places, actually. He's around all over the place, Ty.
He is. He's everywhere. Kind of like Santa Claus this time of year.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, but he's keeping track of the weather for us. We certainly appreciate that.
I love him because he looks at the radar and he looks at like the common sense things that are going on too, and you know, some of the weather folklore and that sort of thing. You know, he looks at a little bit of all of it, and I love that, and that's what I think is pretty neat about his forecast most of the time. But it looks like we're not going to have a blizzard for Christmas.
No.
So that's good.
And winter weather is hard to predict, so it can change between now and Christmas.
Hey, if you don't
and
like
he's
the
watching
weather,
it,
wait 10 minutes.
Yeah, so
It'll lightning,
Just-
it thunder in December.
just like that event that deformation event he was talking about on that Christmas Eve, it caught everybody off guard, and lots of fluffy wet snow that evening. So it can happen.
Well, stick around. I'll tell you who's here. Well, no, I'm going to make it a secret. No, I'm not. It's Cathy Lewis is here.
Yes, indeed.
I told her last night, texted her, I said, you about gave me a heart attack. So we're going to talk about that heart attack I almost had and a whole lot more. We're coming up next at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A report on the full articles of impeachment against President Trump's released by the House Judiciary Committee. A full House vote on impeachment is expected to be taken Wednesday or maybe Thursday. Then in January, a trial in the Senate with details being negotiated.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer sent a letter to Majority Leader Mitch McConnell asking for 4 witnesses. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton, acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney and his top aide, as well as a budget official who handled Ukraine affairs.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. A winter storm's on the move.
A winter storm will track from the lower Mississippi Valley towards the Appalachians, spreading a swath of snow, sleet, freezing rain from the Central Plains to the Mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast on Tuesday. Some flash flooding and severe storms, including tornadoes, will be possible across the Southeast and the Gulf Coast today.
Fox's Janet Steen. America's listening to Fox News.
W277CK Princeton. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Looks like a rainy old Monday in store. Rain today, 100% chance, a high near 40. Then rain before midnight tonight and a chance of drizzle overnight, a low down to 32. Could see some gusty winds as well. Gradual clearing for tomorrow, a high 39, a low tomorrow night of 24. Wednesday, it'll be sunny but colder, a high 39 with a low 22. For Wednesday night. Again for today, looks like rain most of the day with a high near 40.
This weather update brought to you by the Cat's Den on Farmersville Road, Princeton. Food cooked to order and plate lunch specials on Sunday. You won't leave hungry.
Time to take a look at community news here on 1580 103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Community Medical Clinic.
Well, get in the holiday spirit by visiting Princeton's Adsmore House and Garden Museum. Great place to visit and take the family. There's nothing like all the treasured period trimmings to get you in the spirit. Come out and see Adsmore set up for baby Catherine's very first Christmas in 1901. Now, the special seasonal decor is going to be on display through December 28th, every Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Christ Tabernacle Food Pantry in Princeton is asking that you and your family join them for their holiday food pantry challenge. Joining is simple. You can pick up your item list at WPKY at Christ Tabernacle on US 62 West or on their church page website. There's a different item each day. Complete your family's donation through the month of December and finish the challenge January 3rd and 6th from 3 to 6 by dropping it off at the church.
Well, it's open house time at Health First Community Health Center on South Jefferson Street in Princeton. Join them on Wednesday. That's this Wednesday from 4 to 6 for a frosty treat with Frosty the Snowman, free health screenings, tours of the clinic, and more.
Well, grab your friends and head to George Coon Public Library for hot cocoa and a movie at their annual Teen Movie Day in downtown Princeton. Join them this Thursday 4 to 6 for hot cocoa, snacks, and get settled in with warm new Grinch movie. As always, it's free. For more information, call 270-365-2884.
Well, join Capitol Cinema as they celebrate and continue to celebrate our small town Christmas. That's this Saturday for a free holiday movie. Now, kids of all ages are invited for the special holiday edition of Free Movie Saturday. Now, they're going to show how the Grinch stole Christmas. Doors open at 10, and the movie's going to start at 10:30.
All right, get your cameras ready also for Santa's House on the Court Square in Princeton. The Princeton-Colwell County Chamber of Commerce Santa House will welcome visitors this Thursday and Friday from 5 to 7, and finally finish up with their last day Saturday, December 21st from 10 to 2, so that Santa can get ready to make his sleigh tour on Christmas Eve.
Well, Fredonia First Baptist Church on Cassidy Avenue in Fredonia invites the public to a free meal for all. Now, that's going to be on Monday, December 22nd from 6 until 7:30 p.m. at the First Baptist Church Life Center in Fredonia. Now, everyone is welcome, and the meal is absolutely free. For more information, you can give them a call at 270-545-3401.
Do you want to save money on your winter electric bill? When you're at home and awake, set your thermostat as low as is comfortable, but when you're asleep or out of the house, turn your thermostat back 10 to 15 degrees for 8 hours, and it'll save around 10% a year on your heating bills. A smart programmable thermostat can make it easy to set back your temperature. Brought to you by your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Hometown Energy working for you.
People love to enjoy themselves. It's all fun and games. Excuse me. Yes, shaken, not stirred. As I said, it's all fun and games till the ceiling is ruined by a nasty water leak or drafty window. It raises the power bill through the roof. So get the roof before it gets you. The name? Bond. James Bond.
James Bond Roofing, Windows, Siding, and more. 270-963-0840.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cook-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
1580 103.3 WPKY Coffee Talk is on the air. Morning conversations about things of interest to you. If you'd like to be a guest on Coffee Talk, just email us your information at WPKYonline@gmail.com. We're proud to call Caldwell County home. WPKY.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk is on the air. It's 8:20 and we got our girl in here, Ty.
Yes, indeed. Our baker extraordinaire.
Food Network Superwoman. That's what your new name is. It is Cathy Lewis, and of course, I'm telling you, she's on Holiday Wars. If you haven't heard, I don't know how you haven't heard. You must be living under a rock. But she's on Holiday Wars, and man, she's tearing it up.
Well, yeah, last night was a nail biter. It was a close call. We really thought. I mean, I think you could tell from our faces. We thought we were going home last night.
I didn't think you were going home. I had faith in you. Don't get me wrong, you about gave me a heart attack. But
there's a lot of amazing people on that show. And the pieces get to the point where they're so close that it's anybody's game. I mean, it's just, you just don't know. Honestly, leaving the room, you don't know if you're going home or if it's someone else.
I was screaming at the TV. I'm not going to
You didn't throw anything at it, did you?
I might have.
Okay.
I might have. Because, well, your snowman, and he even commented on your snowman last night being just ridiculously lifelike.
Yes, my little cut in half magician snowman. He was fantastic. Snowman, the snow globe that I did. I mean, again, it's like every episode, they cut so much. I did the whole backdrop. I did the whole floor. The backdrop was a flipping disaster. But everything else, I mean, there was a whole lot of other stuff done and worked on. And But yeah, the snowman is probably the best part for me. I loved my snowman.
Well, and I got to admit, my favorite part was the snow globe, though. Because let me give you some background on it just for a second, too. Because they were doing the first, I guess the snowball fight is the very beginning. Well, I should probably start there and not jump to the other one. But so you guys, what was your challenge, the first challenge?
The snowball fight was a protection system for presents. So the little kids couldn't break in and get the presents.
And, you know, Ty, they were really creative, and they had a nutcracker on top.
Love the nutcracker.
Oh, and again, the fondant work on that cake, woman, was amazing.
Yeah, the present was good. They nailed us for lack of creativity, lack of it was, playing it safe, which, inside information. We were supposed to do a different. We were going to do a different, more outrageous take on a protection program, and other team members were not sure that it would go over well, so we backed up and did the nutcracker. Not my choice. But he turned out really good. The problem is having him sit down. It made it really hard for him to be angled the correct way.
Well, and that's kind of what they dinged you on too. The one guy said he collects nutcrackers.
Yeah, if we'd have known that, we probably would not have done a nutcracker.
Did you feel you played it safe with that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
did. Yeah,
100% played it safe. We had a fantastic idea to do a poinsettia, kind of a nod to the Little Shop of Horrors, to do a poinsettia,
neat.
but like a Venus flytrap poinsettia.
How cool!
And I think that would have not been playing it safe.
Yeah,
that would have been
that would have
fantastic.
been good.
And I think it would have turned out really well. It just you start. When you're there on multiple days and very little sleep and a lot of high stress, you start second guessing yourself.
Well, you never know either,
So.
because one of the cakes that was, of course, don't get me wrong, it was not a winner. But the one it was supposed to look like it was made out of concrete with the straps around it and the lock and the key on the mousetrap.
Right.
That was really creative, and
it was.
looked
It was
good.
a fantastically done cake. It
But
just didn't
they
have
said
the
it didn't
typical
look
red
holiday.
and green. Right.
Well, so yours was too traditional, and theirs wasn't traditional enough. So
Right.
it's a kind of a whatever mood they're in, I guess. that
Well,
day.
I mean, the honey badger was fantastic. He was adorable.
He was
I mean, the
cute.
minute we finished that challenge and we all walked out of the room for the judges to deliberate, we knew the honey badger had it. I mean, he was fantastic.
That was it was a cute idea, something a little bit
a
different.
little bit different.
Well, and I think the poinsettias made that one too.
Yeah. They did. His
they
sugar
look
work
like
is
glass.
incredible. There are some sugar artists on that show. The one that went home last night is probably one of the best sugar artists I've ever seen. The guy is incredible. But the sugar artists on that show, all of them, the amazing things they do with sugar is just, it's
I'm glad to
crazy.
see them go though.
Because we got to stay. I loved them all. They were fantastic. But yeah, I mean, we were happy they went and we didn't. So
Well, that's one of those insider things that you got hurt this season.
I did.
And I've been looking for it every week. I'm like, oh, is it going to be this week? Is she going to get hurt? And I've been stressed out for you about it.
And I actually got hurt not on camera because I got hurt on a prep day. It was the day before this episode aired. So if you paid really close attention to the disaster that was the curtains, I have gloves on, which is half of my issue with the fondant is it's sticking to my gloves. The gloves are on because I had sent a drill bit through my hand. So I was attempting...
That don't make you cringe right there. Any of it. What are you doing with a drill bit when you're making cake?
Well, I mean, all those big, tall structures, you've got to have something, inside of them, under them to hold them together. So I was building a structure and my hand slipped and I sent the drill bit through my hand. And so I had a hole in my hand. So I was trying to roll fondant and keep my hand clean. You will notice, as soon as the whole disaster starts to go haywire with the curtains, I lose the gloves and just let it get dirty because there was no way I could function with the gloves and the fondant.
I never could. I kept looking for it because I'm like, I know it's there. And I kept looking and I kept looking. I never could tell. And you could not see on your face that you were hurting at all. And that had to have been hurting.
It was hurting. But it was by the end of that episode, it was, I did. As soon as they said episode was done, everybody step away from your pieces. I said, I'm going to go ahead and need that medic now. I had to get the glitter and the blue fondant and everything cleaned out of it. But yeah, my face never shows pain. My face shows a lot of anger last night in a couple of spots. But
glad you said that. I'm telling you.
I was a smidge angry. Somebody said I looked like I was chewing on nails, and I was for like 90% of that episode.
I was angry for you last night. I was like, No! So can you tell us why you were angry?
Well, there was just a little bit of course, the curtain issue. I mean, that was the main issue. And they cut a lot of it, so you don't see a lot of the drama there. It was not I didn't like the idea of doing them. We were having issues getting them up. Those pieces are huge. And to try to do that with just two people, I mean, I'd covered every backdrop to this point, and they only showed me cover that one because it had the issues. But I had covered every backdrop to this point, and it's really multiple. Normally you have 2 or 3 people help you carry these huge pieces of fondant over. I had one person helping, and it was a tough design, and I had the gloves on sticking to the fondant. There was just all kinds of issues, and it was just between me and another teammate. They cut it all, so you don't really see it, but there was comments made about how I just didn't know what I was doing. So I had gotten angry because I knew what I was doing. I just wasn't having a lot of success with it working. So,
well, this is the one that you had, what, 5 hours? Is it 5 hours that you have to do it?
Yeah, you got to do it in 5 hours.
This is the biggie. And, if you win the snowball fight, you get a couple of extra people to help you and little helpers, kitchen helpers.
Right.
But you guys, you didn't get the kitchen helpers.
We did not. So we had the one because everybody gets one. And the one I had that night was a great one. God love her. She had to put up with me chewing on nails the whole night. But, she was a good one. But that's a covering a piece with fondant that big is not a kitchen helper thing. No. It's an experienced cake decorator thing. It made for a stressful night.
Well, and then the challenge was if Santa had to have a side job,
right?
What would he be doing? And you guys did the magician, and
yes.
I thought that was so cute.
We thought, if Santa had a side hustle, he'd still pick something kid related. So we thought a child's magician. There we go. Child's magician would be the best thing for him to do. If you noticed, and you have to go back and kind of look at my pictures, but I made little people that were right up front. It was like little kids, a silhouette of little kids right up front. I did that too. They don't ever show that, but it's up. So we had the kids right up front. It was a full storytelling piece. I mean, you could look at that piece and knew exactly what it was. And I think that's part of the reason we stayed is because you could look at our piece and it made sense and you knew what was going on.
The size of everything too.
So big.
You guys proportionally, everything was correct and proportional and believable.
Right.
And that was one of the reasons why the other team, I think, went home, is because of that backdrop. I mean, he couldn't even reach. They had some cupcakes and different things kind of setting up on a shelf. Well, the shelf was like on the roof because there's no way Santa Claus is little bitty Santa Claus.
Their figures were little. Their figures were phenomenal. They were small. I think they, like I said, they had one of the better sugar artists there, and I think that in that piece, they relied way too heavily on their sugar artist. I actually think if they had done more cake element and less sugar element, they probably would have beat us. Their piece was very clean and very neat and gorgeous, but it was like 95% sugar. I mean, most of it was the sugar stuff the guy did. I think they had 2 characters that weren't sugar. And I think that's what hurt them last night. All of them, they were phenomenal.
Well, and there was a little girl on theirs that had
so
a beautiful
cute.
face.
Yes.
I mean, she really was. She was cute. The face was perfect. But this sugar artist, I mean, he's
incredible.
It looks like blown glass when he's done. There was they did a candy. Evidently, Santa's going to go work in a sweet shop, basically, was their theme. And he was standing behind the ice cream counter and the candy counter and handing out. And the glass, like the sneeze guard on like what a buffet would be, was made out of sugar. And I've never seen anything like that. You could not tell that was not a piece of plastic or glass.
No, I mean, like I said, he's an absolutely phenomenal sugar guy. I mean, the stuff he does was incredible. It was incredible to watch. That whole team is full of a lot of really talented people. I mean, like I said, their piece was clean and neat, and the only thing that got them was that proportion, and I think that they just relied too heavily on the sugar.
Well, and they even had a good tasting element too.
Yeah.
But you guys had a good tasting element.
It was good. We ran into issues, and that's what, like, there's comments made about it being too tough. It was actually due to when it was fried, because we ran into issues right at the end where our Santa and his helper weren't going to make it on the board. I mean, they weren't done. They needed to be done. They needed to be on the board. So we all kind of stopped, and it was all hands on deck to get them on the board. And because of that, the tasting element was kind of pushed to the wrong time frame on fry. She fried them too early.
Well, so tell us what it is.
There. It was like a bananas Foster, but wrapped in a egg roll paper and fried. Yeah, and she maybe should have done a lighter weight paper, but again, things like that, when you fry them and then they sit, they get chewy. And that's where the chewy factor came in for them. It was a little too chewy for the judges, and I really think she's a fantastic chef.
The idea was amazing.
Yeah, and I would love to recreate those at some point.
Yes,
but
I would love for you to too.
Yeah, do it at a time appropriate where it's fried right as somebody's going to eat it, as opposed to sitting there. Because that was the issue, is they had sat for just a little bit too long.
Oh, well, it had the handmade caramel in it and the bananas, and was it walnuts that she had put in there?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, you talk about, I was starving Marvin by the time that was over with, watching that.
She did a fantastic job, and she does a fantastic job all the way through for us as far as her tasting elements and stuff go. She's unique. I mean, we get some fun, unique. Our team, I think that's what one of the things for our team is, our tasting elements are always really unique.
Well, your stuff is just very well put together too. There's one team, and I'm gonna name any names, but if you're watching this on a regular basis, I guarantee you'll agree, they're just a little sloppy. They're, everything that they do, it's a little, you could have spent a little more time on that. You could, you know what I mean? Everything is it's not crisp. It's not clean. It's a little sloppy.
And we talked about that last week.
You're very crisp and clean.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. One of our biggest upsides is that clean, even, tidy. The Santa this week, and you can see it, his face is starting to fall off, and that's the issue. That was the main issue.
Bad, though.
It is, and in person it was. He ended up losing his face after judging. Luckily, after judging. After judging, his head fell off. But he's starting to lean and crack, and you can see it around the edge of his beard and around the edge of his nose. It has to do with the fact that he's leaning too far back. And, of course, again, when you're doing those in 5 hours, he's leaning, yes. If she was, I'm 120% sure if Elizabeth was doing that in her shop and had time, he would never have fallen apart. But they're leaning and they're going, and there's not time to fix it. At home, there's time to say, I'm going to need another structure support here, or, he's going to have to unlean a little bit. Right. There's not time there. So, it is what it is. It happens, especially when you're in that kind of situation. But, that was the only, it was that. It was the fact that his face was cracking was a little bit scary for all of us. There was mentioned to us when we were in final judging with the judges, they mentioned to us that the snowman was one of their favorite parts because it looked so realistic because of the sugar being put on the fondant the way it was. I was pretty proud of the snowman, but it was for us when they mentioned it. It was the thing they mentioned was Santa's face.
I'm going to tell you, girl, in this whole time, I have not heard them say one bad comment or it could be
they talked
better.
about my curtains last night.
Oh, did they?
Well, they didn't say it, I don't think, in judging, but they did in judging. It was cut. They basically said the backdrop wasn't our normal clean work, and we knew that.
Well, I heard them say something about that the curtains even looked realistic. But
it was the tablecloths, I think, where they were talking about the realistic fabric pattern on the tablecloths where you drape the fondant and make it look like it's actually material. But yeah, there was.
Well, if they did, that's the first and only time they've ever really said anything that other than perfection about everything she has touched.
Well, it's we all have our moments, and I said last night's episode was, I wondered how much was going to be cut because I did lose my mind completely in one part and lose my temper quite a bit, and I think that's what people who know me were laughing and sending me texts in the middle of it going, wow, you look like you're chewing nails there. I'm like, thanks. I kind of was. I know at one point when they do the camera across my face is beet red. So I know that I am just post having my temper tantrum or just before my temper tantrum at that point. But it was a nail biter episode. And it's, the farther you get, the more nitpicky they have to be. Mm-hmm. They've got 3 amazing sets of showpieces coming out, and they've got to start picking them to death to find anything wrong with them.
Well, man, you're just, I will tell you, I don't think I could have been as calm as what you were, especially if I had a hole in my hand. Yeah, so
they cut the part where I wasn't calm.
And I want to talk about that just briefly. Tell us, it's interesting you talk about structure. Right. And how that works. Give us an idea of some of the materials. You had a drill in your hand. Somebody says, you had a drill in your hand making a cake. Give us an idea of how the materials for the structure and how it all works. That's interesting.
Well, and I always get laughed at when I show up at Lowe's and they're like, you need help? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm making a cake. We made quite a few trips to Home Depot and Lowe's. There's a whole lot of wooden and metal structure inside those cakes. I know 3 or 4 people already on the Facebook page have asked what we do with the cakes afterwards. If I make these cakes at home, that material is wrapped in some sort of edible material, whether it be tinfoil or something, or that's a part of the cake you don't eat. There's nothing done to food safety or products because nobody's eating it. So yeah, the pieces do just get trashed at the end of the day. But there's a whole lot of, it's a lot of dowels and metal and wood inside those pieces to keep them up.
Yeah.
You got to figure Santa was 3.5 foot tall. You're not making a cake 3.5 foot tall without some sort of internal structure to keep it from going. So it's almost like if you were to see him before he's built, it's almost like a skeleton.
See, I find that very interesting because you think, okay, you got these structures here. Basically, you are putting cake and sugar and stuff around a wooden metal type frame.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You'd love this one though, Ty, when she did the snow globe last night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did you do that? Because it was a magic trick all its own.
There's a couple of different elements on that snow globe that are a lot of fun because the snow globe glass, if you want to call it that, is a mixture of gelatin and water, and it hardens to almost. Now that one was not crystal clear. The one I ended up using, the one that I got that was crystal clear, I caved in, so I couldn't use it. The more thin you make it, the more clear it is, but the more fragile it is. So obviously, in a timed competition where it's stressful and you're going too fast, it's hard to get one as thin as it should be. But that made the glass globe for the top of our snow globe. And then there is a hovering feature, which is magnets. As my son said last night, my daughter said, that can't be a magnet. And my son said, yes, it can be. They don't just attract, they also repel.
That's exactly right.
So
the North and South Poles are all.
And so there's a magnet piece in that snow globe. And as long as your piece is not too heavy and as long as you line up your magnets just right, you can make your piece float. So it was actually in the air and floating. Now we had, if you look close on our piece, our Santa's helper reindeer has got 2 sugar hoops around her arm.
Right.
It was supposed to be 1 sugar hoop around her arm and one on the judges' table for them to go around the snow globe to show that it really was floating.
Aww.
Now, we got really nervous that something would break if we let anybody that close to that piece. So we ended up not letting the judges do that.
Wow.
Because everything, at that point, I think all of us were just so stressed and just really worried we were going home, and we were like, no, just keep everybody away from the piece. Let's just get through judging and hope that we're still here. So I think one part they don't mention enough is the bunny rabbit coming out of the hat.
Oh, it was so cute.
Timmy's bunny rabbit was adorable. It was so well done.
Well, and even the Santa's helper and the rabbit, and that they did mention that each one had their own texture.
Yeah.
The texture on the fur was amazing. And the bunny's texture and then the reindeer's texture, completely different, which it normally is.
Well, I was going to say, you'll see us all at the very end of that episode. There's about 6 of us putting texture on that reindeer because she was going up and we had to get her out and she still needed her texture on her, and we were all in there scrambling trying to get texture on her as quick as we could.
Well, she looked like velvet.
Yeah, she was. Elizabeth's face work on all of them, even despite Santa's face having issues, the face work, the characteristics she puts in, her carved figures are
like
amazing.
Cheekbones, like natural features, like a chubby cheek and a little chin dimple, and when she gets done with it, these animals have muscle and structure.
It's true art.
Oh yeah, it is.
It really is.
It's artistic ability is a big thing on carved cakes.
And that begs the question to me, to you, and I know we've probably been through this, but did you have any formal aspect of this, or you just did it, didn't you? You just said, I'm going to do this, and that's what I find is totally amazing, and that's what I love about the human spirit. You go out there and just say, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to make it happen. And you did it.
Well, when Adley turned 2, the lady who had made her first birthday cake was no longer making cakes. And I could not find anyone around here to do the cake. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to try and do it myself. Now, looking back at that cake now, I think it looks awful. But even then, when we took it to wherever we had her birthday party, people were like, oh, wow, that cake's amazing. It was an Elmo. It was... now it's kind of scary to look at. But at that point, I was like, hey, I'm not so bad at this. Like, maybe I can try this. And I did just kind of normal traditional cakes when I first started. But then I really discovered that I really liked the aspect of carving and modeling more than just traditional cakes. I've got a really fun one going out this week. So you have to keep an eye on the Facebook page because by Thursday, we should have pictures up of a really fun carved cake going out this week.
I want a Darth Vader cake.
So... I've done Darth Vader before.
Thank you. I remember you have.
That's Missy Nelson's daughter's wedding. It was the groom's cake.
The Darth Vader cake
it
for the groom's
there was
cake?
A groom's
wow,
cake.
Is that not cool for a groom's cake? But that fascinates me. But that gives us all an idea of, you know what, if you want to go out and do something, you just go out and become it. It may take you a little longer, but I love the story.
I love the message that sends kids. It doesn't matter if you're
Sends
from
anybody.
a small town or a big town or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be 18 fresh out of school. I mean, you can have your own kids and do something like this, or
and it's all
whatever it is.
It's all in the effort and the amount of time you put into it, because it's not like I just woke up one day and said, I'm gonna make cakes. But I've spent 10 years working and learning and teaching myself how to do what I want to do. And I think anybody, if they want to work hard enough, can achieve. Sure. I mean, some people have that artistic talent, some people don't. Their talent's in something else.
Right.
I've got a new person joining me at the bakery because we're going to need more help as we move. And I told her she's got an artistic flair to her, and I said, I can teach you the baking stuff. I can't teach you the art. So she's got that tendency towards art, and I think that you have to have that to move forward and be really good at it.
Modern or traditional? What do you lean toward? More
modern. I really prefer, like I said, 3D designed, carved cakes are more where I lean. Traditional cakes are more a lot of small detail, hand piping, things like that.
A lot of buttercream.
Yeah, and I have, since I've moved into the cake shop, have transitioned into a lot of buttercream because people prefer buttercream. And it's almost impossible on a carved cake to use buttercream because you have to have the structure of modeling chocolate ganache, something of that nature to help hold those carved cakes together.
It even sounds good. Chocolate ganache, that's like I love it. I can't help it. Anything like that, I'm there. But you've got some other exciting news too that I kind of wanted to bring up. Because you've got an opening that's coming up really soon, right?
What are we talking about?
The restaurant.
Oh, the restaurant. Sorry, I'm like, what? Where's this going?
And you kind of made an announcement too about who's doing some cooking.
We did. We're excited. Gather on Main will be open. We hope, knock on wood, somewhere in February. Coming up. It's coming up
It's
quick.
my birthday month. I just want to put that out there.
Mine too. So let's get this open.
Hello.
But our hope is February. We're really at this point really hoping and praying it's going to be done in February. But we've got a lot of work left to do on the building. But in the meantime, we really wanted to focus on getting a really good executive chef. If we're going to open a restaurant here, we want to do it right. Our leaning for Cray and I towards getting a really good chef, but also finding somebody with ties to Princeton. And we got lucky and found Josh Cook. And he is born and raised in Princeton, Kentucky, Band of Pride, graduated from Caldwell County High School.
His dad is actually working with the drumline in the band again. He's wonderful.
And Josh has been in Nashville for the last 15 years. So he's trained under some great chefs and some amazing restaurants, and he's ready to come home.
That's great.
So actually, I think he moved back home last week. So he will be starting for us as the executive chef at Gather on Main. He is still looking for kitchen helpers, staff. We still need a secondary chef, and we still need line cooks and things of that nature. But he's a good start for us.
Well,
so
and
we're
again,
excited.
what he does is kind of a work of art as well. I mean, it's not decorating cakes, but when you look at his bio and what he's done and kind of what he's into and the fusion of all of it,
yes,
I mean, that's an art in itself. So maybe your thing is cooking and not baking. That's something that they can get their feet wet with a guy that's really been around.
Oh yeah, and you'll see as we open Gather. Of course, we'll have more announcements as far as menu and stuff as we go along. We will be a limited menu restaurant with ever changing things. I know we've already said a Southern take on cuisine, but at the same time, it will be very modern. A lot more farm to table, a lot more clean and fresh ingredients, but. When you say modern, people think itty bitty little bites. That's not what we're talking about. But there will be a focus on presentation.
But that's where the fusion comes in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we get a good fusion of that modern, clean, neat, farm to table, lots and lots of Kentucky Proud local product, but in a Southern way, so that people can really enjoy it. And you'll get a beautiful plate of food, but a plate of food that'll fill your belly too. So.
Well, and if you're like everybody else and you just can't wait and you want more information about it, you can actually look up. You had a really nice piece on him. Kind of explaining, that he was coming and he even got to smile and take a big pretty picture and it's really neat when you read his bio and what all he's done. That's another one of those success stories.
It is, and we Gather on Main has its own Facebook page. We did have Facebook.com/Gather on Main. It is Facebook.com/GatherOnMain Princeton now, because a restaurant in Lexington just opened and took our URL. So
that's my luck right there.
Right, that's my luck. That's what I get for not locking it in. I thought we had it. I didn't know it had to be officially locked in. But
it's okay. I haven't learned to use Google yet, so we're good.
I mean, this
You're
is where
ahead of me.
I need an intern to come in and fix all this stuff, because apparently I'm old now. So.
No, you're focusing on the part that we want to enjoy.
Yeah.
So we like you focusing on what you're focusing on.
But we do have the Facebook page up and running. There's a post, a very long post about what to expect from Gather, and there's a very long post on Josh Cook on there as well.
Well, thank you so much. I get so excited, and I tell her all the time. I say I'm just so proud of her that I could bust, and my whole house explodes.
Don't do
I'll
that.
tell you, for her to do what she has done is amazing,
well,
and for you to do what you've done, you were already successful here in Caldwell County. And you've already got Taco John's. You've already got kids. You've already got a husband. But you just keep going, and you don't stop, and you don't say that's enough.
Yeah.
And I think that is great.
I'll stop when I die. That's what I tell people. I'll sleep eventually, sometime.
Yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
But next Sunday night is the finale on Food Network. Yes! So we made it to the finale. I said that was where I wanted to make it to the finale, and that's it is what it is from there. We either win or we don't, but either way, we made it. So the finale will be fun next weekend. I think a lot of people will really enjoy it. I think there'll be some controversy when all is said and done as to who wins, who doesn't. The pieces are we mentioned that today. The pieces are so close when you get to this point that it's so hard to decide what piece wins.
Nah.
So
Does
you
it
get down to it.
Does it get to where it's a matter of opinion with the judges?
It
or
does.
just
No,
I
it
mean,
does.
just a matter of they're all great, but yet it's
Yeah.
just what they like, isn't it?
Next week, I know that if you're a Food Network person, then you recognize Josh and his mohawk, because he's been on Food Network a lot.
Right.
That their team is fantastic. I know they struggled the first few episodes to find their feet. They found their feet. We saw that last night.
They feel like they're getting a groove on.
They found their feet last night. So it's. I think you're really down to the two best teams are going to go head to head next week. So it's going to be something else. It's going to be fun.
We're going to have a party one way or the other. So.
Next Sunday night, 8:00, Food Network, and we'll see who can take home the big win.
And then hopefully we're going to see you on Monday, right?
We'll see. Yeah, I'll come in on Monday. Yeah.
I started saying we'll see. Oh no, we'll see you come in here on Monday. I'm going to find you one way or the
I'll
other.
be here on Monday. Now, I think there's no school, so I might be hauling kids in here with
That'd be all right. We love kids.
That would be so much fun, though. I bet they've had a ball.
They have, and getting them to sleep last night was not fun. It's they get excited and wild up right on late Sunday night, so that's been kind of fun. But they were all super tired this morning. But the kids love it. I mean, last night, my friends are going to say, "Well, your mom made it. Your mom made it." That's all I'm going to hear at school tomorrow is your mom made it.
Good for them.
Yeah, they love it. They're having a good time with it.
Good job, Cray.
That's wonderful.
I tell him that every week. It's good job, Cray.
He's fantastic. He was out of town last night, so we had our group picture of us all cuddled up watching the show, and he was texting us from a hotel room on a job. So
bless his heart.
Yeah,
I know he missed that.
He'll be here next Sunday, so we can all watch the finale together.
I think it's gonna be a hoot. I cannot wait. Of course, Cathy Lewis, Cathy's Confections, and you covered up. You still got some room for some orders?
No, I can't take. I mean, at this point, I'm working. I probably won't sleep again until the 24th. That's my thought. To get the orders done that I've already got in. I might sleep again in 5 or 6 days. No, we had to close down all orders through February at this point.
Okay.
We are slam packed full. I wasn't supposed to take any January or February orders because I've got so much work to do on the building, and I have snuck a couple in. Don't tell my husband. Because
I won't tell him. Don't anybody tattle on her. You hear me?
So I've snuck a couple of good customers in that I didn't want to tell no for January and February, but at this point we're locked down until we open at the new building.
Well, when do you start taking reservations for Gather on Main?
We will take reservations when we get closer to knowing an exact opening date.
Okay.
So
it's still going to be a little bit.
It's going to be a little bit. Yeah.
You'll have a soft maybe opening, or are you going to just open?
We will. Well, no, we will have a soft opening, but it will probably be because we've got to let our employees in our kitchen get their feet on the ground. So we will probably do. The people who've worked on the building, I'm sure radio station will be involved. People like that. People who've helped us get here. We're going to have
stalkers, in other words.
Soft opening. Yeah, stalkers. A soft opening or two to kind of get our feet going, and then hopefully open very well. That's the idea, is by the time you get to your real opening, everything goes smooth and according to plan. And if there is any issues, they're in the kitchen and the customers don't see them. So that's the hope, is that we get a nice smooth opening. We've grand opened a restaurant or two.
Right.
So we've done that a time or two. Hopefully that, I'm not going to say that's going to 100% help, but hopefully that'll help us as far as getting things up and running without too many snags in the beginning of it. So, but we can't, I was going to start taking reservations in January, but at this point, until I have a for sure opening date, we're not taking reservations. I hate to promise anybody we'll be open and then have it delayed.
And that's what we love about
I've been holding back on one question, and I've got to ask. How long will the Apple Grande be around?
I have horrible news on Apple Grande.
Okay.
What? Our corporate stores are completely out of apples. So, yeah. So once we run out of apples, it's all. I noticed. If you noticed, my children noticed on Friday when I picked up their nachos. Their nachos were no longer red and green.
Oh no, the Navidad.
There's nothing we can do about it. And people get mad at us. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. Corporate no longer has red and green chips. Corporate no longer has apples.
But they're selling them though, right?
They've sold completely out, and I think we will call around, because we sell so many of them here, that we will call around to other stores and see if anybody else has got extras and see if we can get them sent to us, but we've had no luck so far.
Wow.
So I'm a fan when I stop Cray in the middle of the parking lot. I'm like, hey, what about this? Where's my chicken?
Right. Well, the apples are when we're out of apples, we're out of apples.
Okay.
And I hate that, because
it's a good
we
sign
love them.
though.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Well, last year we were able to kind of get enough that we could have enough even for Valentine's Day, and we're not going to get them this year.
Something?
Nobody's got them. So
did you do good on the money that you were raising? Everything go good with
everything
that?
Went great. We had an incredible amount of community support. I know at 5 o'clock last Monday. 5 o'clock last Monday, the line wrapped out the door and around the parking lot.
Oh wow!
I know all the little kids were running home telling their parents, tonight we have to eat tacos. And Cray presented them and I don't have it in front of me, $1,400 check to the school the next day. That's great. So we had a fantastic fundraiser. The community really got behind that fundraiser, and we were able to give quite a bit to the school for that fundraiser. So it went fantastically.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Your community's proud of you, and we're thankful for you. We're really, truly.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Of course, that's Cathy Lewis, Cathy's Confections, and now Holiday Wars celebrity.
And coming, Gather
on Main. I'm telling you, she's lighting the world on fire.
Big
I love it.
to-dos.
She got on a shirt that says, I'm cold, but I'm telling you, she's lighting the world on fire right about now. It is 8:53. We sure do thank her for coming in. Coffee Talks on the air. Hang on, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
I really thought I would die of stress long before the cancer, because the diagnosis brought this avalanche of worries. The money, the travel, the burden on the family. One night I called the American Cancer Society, and they helped me map out a plan. Got me free rides to chemo and even a free place to stay during treatment. They took away those other fears, so I could rest up for the real fight.
Please give at cancer.org.
Vicks VapoCool Drops. Oh, great. A sore throat keeping me from my extremely lucrative voiceover job talking about throat drops. Thanks, universe. Might as well try these Vicks VapoCool Drops. Wow, these VapoCool Drops are amazing. That's not candy dressed up like a throat drop. That's a super cooling Vapo Power Rush. It's like... Yes, I don't know where that's coming from, but yes. Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool Drops. Use as directed.
Do the winter blues have you down? You are not alone. Seasonal depression affects many people. If you're experiencing periods of low energy, social withdrawal, hypersomnia, or other symptoms of depression, seek help from one of our licensed professionals with Health First Community Health Center. Visit their website, healthfirstchc.net, or contact their office at 270-365-9455 for more information. Health First Community Health Center is located at 1100 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
Hey guys, Heidi with Capitol Cinemas, your local Princeton movie theater with your weekday lineup. In Cinema 1, Jumanji Next Level PG-13 shows Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Jumanji will move to Cinema 2 for the opening of Star Wars on Thursday. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker PG-13 shows Thursday at 6 o'clock. In Cinema 2, Frozen 2 shows Monday through Thursday at 6:30. In Cinema 3, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, PG, shows Monday through Wednesday at 6:30. Call during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit us at capitalcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouthwatering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
It's our 12 Deals of Christmas going on right now at your local Big Deal store. Hi, Jenny here, and I've been busy picking out the very best deals for you this holiday season. Each day is a different offer, and we have limited quantities, so run to your computer or smartphone and grab it quick.
Save on all things power at Hopkinsville Outdoor Equipment.
Click on Loyal Listener Big Deals at WPKYOnline.com.
Happy holidays from Perry's Floors and More, Princeton. They look forward to serving your flooring needs in the new year. They can replace your old worn-out floor with a new floor that will add warmth and style to any room. Choose from luxurious designer carpets, beautiful luxury vinyl plank or luxury vinyl tile floors that will stand up to the wear and spills of your family. Whichever floor you choose will be backed by reputable manufacturers and installed with expert care. See Bill or Lucy at Perry's Floors and More, 127 Market Street in Princeton.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
This is David Harden of You Ride in Princeton, and we want your business.
This is Christy. And this is Casey.
And we'd love to help put you in a good pre-owned vehicle. We offer on-the-lot financing, too. Good credit or credit problems, we can help. You Ride is a proud sponsor of the Sideline Report, heard every Thursday on your hometown radio station, WPKY 103.3 FM. Just ask David about the You Ride deal of the week and take a test drive. You Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton. Call 270-365-3018.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Looks like a rainy old Monday in store. Rain today, 100% chance, a high near 40. Then rain before midnight tonight and a chance of drizzle overnight, a low down to 32. Could see some gusty winds as well. Gradual clearing for tomorrow, a high 39, with a low tomorrow night of 24. Wednesday, it'll be sunny but colder, a high 39 with a low 22 for Wednesday night. Again for today, looks like rain most of the day with a high near 40.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Brantley Furniture.
First Southern National Bank's Southern roots run deep. Founded in a small Kentucky town, First Southern has always used their example, influence, and resources to help others make wise financial decisions. They know you want to be in charge of your money and to feel valued by your bank. At First Southern Bank, you're more than a number, which is why they've provided personalized service to their customers for more than 35 years. Visit fsnb.net to learn more. Member FDIC.
Don't be left out in the cold this winter. Fortner Gas is ready to keep you warm. Fortner Gas is available 24/7 and will always take care of their customers when other companies leave people in the cold. Just contact Fortner Gas and schedule a propane delivery to your home or business. They want your business and will prove that to you. You can count on Fortner Gas in Princeton to keep you warm and toasty this winter. Doesn't that sound good? Fortner Gas, since 1951.
1580 103.3 WPKY. I'm going to tell you, that lady right there, I could just eat her up. I love her. Well, she's such a spitfire, and she's such a great mom and a good role model, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm so proud that I know her, and I love her to death. I don't think she understands how much everybody appreciates her here locally, that her and Cray both, and the kids that just a good human being. How about that?
There you go.
And boy, I'm going to tell you, I'm pumped. It's like the Super Bowl coming up.
That ought to be an exciting episode Sunday night.
You know, I was really shocked because I told you before, everybody in my house loves this show. And it's one thing that I wasn't really I didn't know if that would be CJ's thing or not, or because it's loves it. We all get into it, and I think it makes it even more special because it's somebody that you know, and
Definitely.
when you get to support somebody that you know.
Definitely.
And we've grown to love her. So I'll tell you, we scream her name a lot at my house. She doesn't know it, but we sure do.
All right.
Hey, it is 9:01 at WPKY Princeton, and of course, got some rain in the forecast today. We just talked to David Powell just a few minutes ago, and of course, a weatherman extraordinaire for the area.
Pretty steady right now, and probably I won't get out of here till later on. Probably a little drizzle all the way into the overnight hours. So,
well, I'll tell you, if you've got rain and you've got mud and you've got winter weather coming and things that you're just not sure about, and you look at your ride and you go, you know what? I don't think that I feel very safe in that. I can tell you who you need to call.
I bet I know who. Who is it?
Trice Hughes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, right there. And we look at them all the time because they're right here where we can see them out our front window. So I drill about half of the vehicles that they've got on the front on the slot. I accuse them of actually lining up the trucks just to taunt me in the Jeeps. And they've got,
that's the idea, to taunt everybody.
Well, I'll tell you. I had to peek around the corner because this one side of the building I can't see. There is this gorgeous red Jeep that they've got on the pedestal over there right now that I've been drooling over for about a week, staring at it. And I was at the stoplight, I guess it was over the weekend, but I was looking at this Jeep and wasn't paying attention, and people were honking at me. The light had turned green. I hadn't even paid attention to the light because I was looking at this Jeep.
Jeep Dreamland.
I was. Make sure you give them a call. If you want something, if you've got something on your brain, you say, you know what, the Jeep is not my thing. I'm kind of a car person. That's okay. They can hook you up. No matter what, if you need something for the farm, if you need something for maybe to take the kids, an SUV, no matter what you're looking for, they've got something that's going to fit your budget and fit your lifestyle. So make sure that you give them a call. They have a hometown deal of the week each and every week. But right now, the name of the game is employee pricing. And that's going to go all the way through the end of the year. So make sure that you go over there. You give them a call either way. If you don't feel like leaving the house, if it's a gloomy day today and you say, you know what, I don't want to get out, that's okay, because you can check out their inventory without ever leaving the house at TriceHughesGM.com. You can visit if you're like me and you kind of like to see them in person, Highway 91 North in Princeton, right here across the street really from the radio station. They want your business, so give Trice a try. You can give them a call at 270-896-0753. It's from Tess and Ty and 1580 103.3 WPKY.
The voice of Caldwell County. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY, Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The House Judiciary Committee releases a report